All right. Hey guys, Spinning Plum Bobs here. I am here today to go over the Fairies versus Witches mod, the mod that I just released a few days ago. You might know me from my previous mods, Expanded Mermaids and the White Lighter mod over on my Patreon. So we're just going to go over this today, do a little demonstration because it seems like there was a little bit of confusion over how certain things worked, how to do some stuff. So we are going to just do a little demo today. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that's going to be pretty important when you're starting on the journey to becoming a fairy or a witch are these two objects here. So first off, we have this fairy statue, this pedestal with the fairy on top. And then over here we have the witchcraft altar with these symbols on the top there. So what we're going to do is go into buy mode, and you'll be able to find these pretty easy if you just search for, let's search fairy, and you'll be able to find it right there. So here it is, and all of these objects and the things in cast have this icon that'll make them easily identifiable so you know what comes with the mod. So that's where that is, and then we'll go over and search witch, and then the altar should show up, and there it is with that icon. So we've got them both placed already, and you can do this on the home lot or a community lot. Today we have it on the home lot. So for the purposes of this mod, we've got Eve here, who's going to be our fairy, and Paul, who's going to be our witch. So we're going to have Paul just kind of go over here and get out of the way real quick while we take Eve over to the statue. So Eve is going to examine it and just kind of take a look and see how she feels and what she thinks of it. And oh, you can see the effects there of the plants because the fairy statue tends to affect the foliage nearby and make it grow a little bit better. So she's going to take a look. She finds that pretty interesting, but she thinks something's missing. It just doesn't look complete. She's got these items in her inventory that are pretty important. So we're going to have her place an item, and you can see this list here. You can place a number of things on the pedestal, but this interaction is going to show you what is going to make this next interaction work. So let's go ahead and place the dahlia. So she's going to put that there. Doesn't that look nice? So now she's going to admire it. And oh, it looks like she sees something pretty interesting. And there we have a pop-up that'll show you this vision that she's having that she thinks is pretty interesting. So she can either shake it off and just ignore it and, not worry about it, or she can do something else and embrace it. So there she goes. She's going to go off and get sucked into a portal. And what that's going to do is that's going to take us to Sylvan Glade, which you guys are probably familiar with. But it's a little different. There are going to be some friends there that we haven't seen before that we'll see in just a second. All right, loading up into Sylvan Glade. It all looks pretty normal at first glance. Everything looks the way it usually does. So she's going to walk around and, oh, who do we have back here? We have somebody interesting that we haven't seen before. So here we have some new characters wandering around. We have some Glade fairies that are going to wander around and take care of the plants and talk to each other and do all kinds of interesting stuff. Now what I've done is I've already come here and changed their appearance because the game is just going to put them in whatever it wants. And if you want to, you can click on them if you have testing cheats enabled, and you'll be able to remove their wings or after you remove their wings, you'll be able to randomize them if you want, and that'll pre-select some wings, or you can throw them into casts and add some custom wings if you want. So they're very customizable. I thought that was really important, so you can make them look however you want. But basically, they're just going to roam around and do their thing and be fairies around the glade, and you'll be able to hang out with them and talk to them and do all kinds of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over and we're going to greet the ethereal guardian, because she's a very important fairy in the glade. She's a little bit more advanced. Oh, there's the tree there. So you can see back there, they're casting spells on the plants and doing all kinds of stuff. And then this one here, he is pretty enamored with her because they're not used to visitors. So we're gonna select the ethereal guardian here again. I don't know why that didn't work the first time. We're gonna greet her again. Maybe she's busy, she's distracted with her book. So we're just gonna say hi and see what she has to say about where we are. All right, so she has greeted us with this message here, and there are some different variations of things that they can say for certain interactions, and so you guys can play around with those and give those a read. So what you guys are probably really interested in is finding out how you become a fairy. So we're going to see if she knows how to do that and see what she has to say. She can give us a little hint. So we're going to select Ask How to Become a Fairy and see what she has to say. All right, so it looks like she has let us know that there are some sprites hanging around the forest that we can go and look for that will provide us with the answer to this question. So I think we are going to do just that. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to let her go about her business, and we're going to search for some sprites. So she's going to come over here and she's going to look around and see what she can find. Oh, and it looks like she didn't find anything, so we're going to try again over in this direction. It might take a couple times, it might take a few times, but you should eventually be able to find something. Speed through this. Oh, and it looks like she found something pretty interesting, and there you go. She happened upon a sprite. So we're going to just chat him up and give it some compliments, maybe gossip a little bit, find out what's the tea here in Sylvan Glade. So you can do these interactions and they will actually raise your social. So if you're just looking for a friend to talk to, you can always come here and find a sprite just to air your grievances. So you just keep doing that. It might take a while. They're finicky little guys, so we'll just keep complimenting him. And she said that that would win us some brownie points, so we're just going to keep on doing that. Oh, and it looks like she's made a good impression. So you can see something you can do is ask to follow, which will make it follow you around the glade and be like a pet, and you can have it trail behind you like a familiar. But we're actually just going to go ahead and make a wish here. And there are several options that you can choose from, but I think the main one that you guys are interested in is asking to become a fairy. So we're going to ask him that and see what he says. She's going to just plead with him a little bit, and oh, looks like he agreed. And there we have a fairy. So she's going to get all of her little pop-ups showing, what she's gotten, her little prerequisites for being a fairy. So she's got the fairy magic skill there. And then she's got her first level of her fairy form, which is pixie. So there's that. And then the little description of what being a fairy is all about. Let you guys read through that yourselves. So you might notice that she has some wings here. Now, if you just take a regular old sim and you come here and go through the process of becoming a fairy, you are not going to see these wings. You have to do something else before you can have this happen. So you'll just see this little outline here of the mesh, that little white line. So we're going to pop her into cast real quick, and I'm going to show you how you can get those wings to show up in the same way we did. So before the game started, before I started this video, I actually just, let's go here. We're going to go into the earring section. You'll see this thing called wing skins. So I selected one of these here. You can see there's all these different variations and colors and styles and stuff. So I put this on her before we started anything. And We've got this variation here, and you'll see there's nothing on her right now. You can't see any wings or anything, and that's because this is just a texture. There's no mesh for this to go on top of. So you will not see this. You won't see these wings unless you're channeling fairy magic and you have the wings enabled. So we're going to take that off there. We're going to come up and you can see that these are just the regular wings. Where you put them on, you see them right there. So these are the regular wings, and they actually have a mesh, and they have everything that you need. Here's the bigger variation of that, all the different styles and stuff. So we're going to put this back on her, and she has it on her every day, and she also has it applied to her party wear. And those are the only two categories she has it on, which means that the wings will only show up on those outfits when she is channeling fairy magic with the wings enabled. So we'll hop back into live mode. So you can see that she's got her wings on because she's channeling fairy magic and she's in her everyday wear where we put the wing skins. So let's go ahead and we're gonna just go in here and we're gonna change her outfit to, oh, and you can see that they show up in the little icons here. Let's change into her formal wear. And since we did not use the wing skins on that outfit, you can see they are not there, but you can see the mesh for the wings. That's an unfortunate part of, how the transparent meshes work. You'll be able to see the shape of it and everything. If you want to turn off hover effects with cheats, you can do that and that might be better for you, but let's go ahead and, we'll go into here and let's change into her party wear and you'll see that she has her wings again because we used the wing skins. So basically, if you use the wing skins, whatever outfit you use them on, they will show up when you use that option here for the auto wings. So we'll turn them off and you can see that the wings go away. So you can turn them off and leave them off if you want and not have any wings at all, but we're going to just turn them back on because we want to use them for right now. But we're also going to turn on use magical outfit. Now this is supposed to simulate that magical girl transformation that you might remember from shows like Sailor Moon. So we're going to turn that on. And what that's going to do is that's going to change a couple interactions like this one so that when you click it, it's going to open up this menu, this outfit picker menu. So you're going to want to just pick whatever outfit you want her to end up in after this interaction. So she's going to do her magical spin and then she's going to switch into that outfit we chose. And there she is, and she has no wings anymore because she's not channeling fairy magic and she doesn't have the mesh on there anymore. So we're going to, let's see, channel fairy magic, and let's just stay in the outfit we're in because we know we've got the wing skins on there, so that'll work fine. So she's going to do her spin again, channel her fairy magic. And there you go, her wings are back. And she will stay in this outfit as long as you have it selected and as long as you are channeling fairy magic, if you have this option for the magical outfit enabled. No matter if they're, what they're doing, if it's cold out, they won't change into any other outfit or whatever. So this is basically the most versatile way I could think of to implement the wings or the outfits or, the whole fairy form thing, especially without being able to do the separate occult form like vampires and aliens have. So you can get really creative with this. You can mix and match the different options or just have the wings on all the time and not use these features at all, or you can use a mixture of the two or just one or the other. Just have one outfit with the wing skins or multiple. It's really up to you. You can do a lot with it, but that's the gist. So something we're going to do now that we have a fairy is we're going to go over and we're actually going to talk to the ethereal guardian again, and we are going to ask about magical abilities. And this is just going to, she's going to give you a little tip, a little information about different things that you can and can't do, or things about your magical abilities, just in case you're confused or don't know what to do next. Oh, it looks like we've got a magic battle going on in the background. So as you can see, the fairies will go around and do different things like magic battle or practice their powers or tend to the plants and whatnot. So, but here we have a little message that she's told us about what you can do with your power source. And power sources are kind of important to being a fairy or a witch, but we'll go over that a little bit later. So now what we're going to do, we're going to select the ethereal guardian and we're going to ask for a fairy handbook because that is something that's pretty important to learning different things as a fairy, like spells and powers and stuff. So she's going to ask for that. And it doesn't look like she's having too much luck. It looks like she doesn't know her very well, and this fairy's not looking to give away her possessions to just anybody. So we're going to go over here and we're going to cheat their relationship and increase it a little bit. So if you sit and talk to her and get to know her a little bit better, she might be a little more willing to help you out. So we'll just go ahead and ask her again, and maybe she's changed her tune. Oh, and there you go. So she has decided to hand it over and give her a copy of the fairy handbook. So we're going to go ahead and check that out real quick. So here we have the fairy handbook. It says, to most people, this would appear to be a simple book of fairy tales and fantasy, but it is truly much, much more. So we're going to click on that and open the fairy handbook and just see what's inside, what it has to show us. I'll speed through that real quick, and that's going to open up this, which you will notice is very similar to the spellcaster menu, but this has some different contents to it. It's got magical abilities and spells, and here we have fairy forms. So this is going to show you all the different levels you can reach. And your fairy form is actually going to affect more so what powers and abilities you can learn rather than spells. So there are about 5 levels you can reach, and that's going to be improved by winning power spar sessions and magic battles. So we are going to go over to magical abilities, and these are different powers that are not like spells. They're more about your way of life and whatnot. So I'll let you guys read through that in your own playthroughs, but we've got spells here too. And these are learned more by improving your magic skill, so your fairy magic skill or your witchcraft skill if you're a witch. So that's basically the gist of becoming a fairy and how to start out with that and what you have to do to start that journey. So we're going to go and switch over to Paul and see if we can't figure out how to get him to become a witch and see what you have to do to start down that path. All right, so we are back home, and doesn't he look so sad and lonely in that window? So we're going to have him come back here, and we are going to have him just take a look at this altar and see what's up with it. It's very interesting. So we're going to have him actually inspect it. So we're going to have him come over and give it a little look and examine it, and he's interested in it, but it has some sort of strange quality to it. So we're actually going to have him sit down and try to meditate because it seems like that's the sort of thing you do with this kind of object. So he's going to do that. So after a little while of trying that, it looks like he is seeing something very interesting. Oh, what's happening over here? Oh, we have a visitor. So it looks like his meditating has actually reached out to this ancestral witch, and she has decided to pay him a visit. So we're going to greet her real quick, see what she has to say and what's going on with her. So he's going to greet her. And it looks like, it looks like she was kicking Grimm's butt at a game of chess, so we disturbed her. So we're just going to keep it quick and get right to the point. So we're going to ask her about witchcraft and see what she has to say. And it looks like she has quite a bit to say about witchcraft and what it takes to be a witch and everything. So I'll let you guys read that in your own playthroughs. And It looks like she's actually going to do some sit-ups. It's good to get some exercise even when you're dead. So we're actually going to ask her to become, or ask her how to become a witch, or if we can, see what her advice is, and it looks like we can actually do her a favor. It looks like she wants us to go and fetch her a sprite, one of the things that turned Eve into a fairy, because apparently they have quite a bit of power. They pack a punch, so she'd really appreciate having one of those. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and exit out of that, and we're going to go over and have him admire the statue and send him to Sylvan Glade to go and find one of those sprites to deliver it back to the ancestral witch. So he's going to go through the portal. All right, and here we are back in Sylvan Glade, and the fairies are still going about their business, and it looks like the ethereal guardian is over there tending to the plants. So, he's got to go potty, so we're gonna fix that, and we're actually gonna go, and he's gonna hunt for some sprites because he's not looking to make friends. He's not wanting any wishes or anything like that. He just wants to hunt and capture it. So he's gonna go over and do that. So he's gonna look around just like Eve did. See if he can't find something. So we'll go ahead and fast forward through this. Oh, and it looks like he actually is seeing something, and there you have it. There it is. He found one of those sprites. So now he is not, you can obviously go ahead and compliment and chat with it and everything if you want, but he's going to want to capture it. And it looks like he was successful, so that's awesome. So now if you go and look, he has it in his inventory. So we're actually going to go and send him home so that he can deliver that to the ancestral witch, and hopefully she'll keep up her end of the bargain. All right, so we are back home, and it actually looks like it's a little late, so we might be able to see the altar and how it kind of tends to change when the sun goes down. And the ancestral witch is still waiting for us. She probably thought that was quick. She'll be pleasantly surprised. We're actually going to chat her up a bit, ask her about her day while we were gone. Dag. And then we're going to go over here, and you can see that you can actually trade the sprite for witch powers. So we're going to do that and see what she says. So there he goes, giving over the sprite, and she seems pretty jazzed about that. And there we go. He has become a witch, and there he goes, getting all those little pop-ups and stuff about his witch rank and his magic skill, his witchcraft skill, and his little plumb bob that he's got now with the bar on it. And you can see that the altar has gained a more mystical looking appearance since it's nighttime, so that's pretty cool. So let's see, what are we going to do next? Actually, something worth noting is this little orb over here. This is his witch experience, and fairies have their own experience need as well, and this is going to be important for learning powers and spells and stuff like that. And the best way to gain this is to practice magic, or read from the book, or use the altar, and he can actually do this and meditate, and that'll gain that and his witchcraft skill. But something you can do with the Ancestral Witch and the Ethereal Guardian for fairies is you can go into this menu here, and this other one, and choose to ask for magic training. And he will ask her. And then he'll go and start practicing his magic, and she'll kind of instruct him, and it'll help him increase his experience a little faster, and also help increase his witchcraft skill more efficiently. So you can see that here, that's being increased. And there's his witch rank, and that's kind of similar to the fairy form. It's more about status rather than magical ability. So that's why those are two separate things. And it's similar to the spellcaster rank. So that's going to be important for learning powers and abilities. So we're just going to go ahead and go over here, and you can actually ask about the power source or ask about which rank. You can power spar, you can initiate a magic battle and all that. And power sources are pretty important. So we're going to ask her about that. And it looks like she is a witch that draws on darkness for her source of power. So we're going to touch on power sources a little bit later, but right now we are going to ask where to find the Guide to Witchcraft, because that is a book that's pretty important for uh, becoming a witch and progressing. So it looks like she's told us, as it turns out, I happen to know that two amethyst crystals placed on either side of your altar will allow you to conjure a copy of the book. And it looks like he's learned how to configure his altar to conjure the Guide to Witchcraft. So altar configurations are something that I intended to have a little bit more of a larger role in the witchcraft side of this mod, but the Sims team implemented something different with slots, and so it kind of changed how this object is able to function. So I hope to eventually figure that out a little bit better and have more in the future, but there are still some that you can do now. So we are going to place down a couple amethyst crystals on either side of the altar. We're going to place one there, and we're going to place one here. And she said that they're supposed to unlock something that you can do with the altar. So we're going to click here and look at that. You can conjure a Guide to Witchcraft. So we're going to leave her be and let her do her own thing and see what this does. And there you go. There's a copy of the Guide to Witchcraft. So we're going to pick that up and take a look. And it looks like he's figured out how to configure altar configurations. So he's going to crack that book open. Oh, it looks like he's going inside to have a little sit down. It's apparently easier to read when you're sitting. So maybe the lighting of the kitchen is what he needed. So I'll get rid of that. So he's going to just take a look, and that's going to open up this. And that's similar to the fairy menu. And this has everything about his witch ranks. And so we'll go over there and see all the levels that you can achieve, the powers that you can get, and there are specific ones for witches and specific ones for fairies. So they have unique things that they can do. And then obviously we have spells that you can learn, but then you have altar configurations where you can see there's 4 of them at the moment that you can learn, and they'll pop up, and you can materialize the Guide to Witchcraft, an ancient text that provides everything a novice witch needs. And it'll show you what objects you need, so amethyst and amethyst, 2 of them. So we'll close out of that real quick. So just like with the fairy book, if we click on it here, you can either study from it, you can open it, all that, and that'll increase your skills and everything. And then you can see that you can learn all of these spells. But what we're actually going to do here is we're actually going to demonstrate the learning powers. So with whatever witch rank you're at, you're going to want your experience here to be completely full. So we're just going to cheat that up a little bit. And we're going to have him come out here, and you learn powers at the altar. So you're going to choose a perk. And what do we want to do? I want him to actually be good at potion making, which witches can actually use the cauldron from Realm of Magic. So we'll have him go out there and select that. Oh, she's home from work. Now a little pop-up will come up and explain just what the perk is for and what it changes, what it does, what your ability is going to be. So this is actually going to increase his ability to make potions and make him learn potions faster and stuff like that. So we're just going to choose this, and he's going to go up and do his thing. And he's learned the power, so now he is a potion prodigy. So that's how you learn powers as a witch. And it's sort of similar as a fairy, but just a little bit different. So now that Eve is home from work, we're going to have her go here, get the heck out of bed, and come down here. And she needs to have her experience full as well. So we'll do that. And she's going to learn her power from the fairy statue. So, we need to increase her fairy form, so we'll just cheat that up a little bit. So obviously, when you do this, you'll probably be going through the actual gameplay mechanics and everything, and increasing her XP the normal way, and her rank and skill and all that. So we're going to click here, and we're going to choose a perk. And what do we want to do? Let's make her a magic mentor, so that way she'll be able to teach other fairies how to use their magic and increase their XP and all that. We want her to be kind of a kind soul to teach the children, so she's going to do her thing. And now she's a magic mentor, and she can go and use the same interaction that we used before with the Ancestral Witch to teach other people. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through learning spells and all that. So if you go over here, you can see we have all these spells to learn, but she can't do any of them yet. But there'll be tooltips here to show you what you need to do to learn those. So this one says you need to increase your fairy XP. So we're going to go over, oh, there's that idol of her floating. I love those. So we are, let's see, we're going to practice her fairy magic, and that's going to increase her XP and everything, and we'll just cheat that up a bit. And you have to have it just barely above that level, and then if you go over here, you can click and go back to learn spell, and now you can learn all these. So we'll select one. Never stop practicing magic. And she's also going to go inside. You need the lighting. You can't read if you're out in the dark. So she's going to sit down and she's going to learn that spell. And as she's learning, you'll see that the XP need is going to go up. And as soon as that hits full, that will be what triggers her to learn the spell. So if you don't want to sit down and just like watch her read for a while, you can get it. You can practice magic until you're right up to the edge there. And oh, it looks like Paul's studying too. But you can get it right up to the edge there and then sit down and learn a spell so that she learns it. And that makes it so that you don't have to sit and watch them read or watch them do this or that. You can actually do a bunch of stuff. So if we go over here, you'll see, it looks like the plants don't need tending right now or that spell. So, but you can actually draw power source from nature. So that means that you can actually go over and she can draw her source of magic from nature, which will make her basically a nature fairy. So power sources are really important. Let's get rid of that rain. Nobody likes the rain. But power sources change how you use your magic and like what spells you can learn and how easy it is and what level you can learn certain things at. So we're going to have her go out and do this and draw her power source from nature. And as a nature fairy, she's going to be able to gain gardening skill faster and herbalism and what else? She'll unlock different interactions, and like I said, she'll be able to learn different spells quicker and easier. But just like with learning spells, the XP need will go up and until it reaches full, and then she will gain this power source. And that way you can practice magic or study from the book or whatever, do anything that will raise that XP need, and then, get it right up until the very top and then go out and do this, and it won't take as long and you can just do it. So that way, I did it that way so that you don't have to sit there and do this and watch them just sit around and do nothing for a long time. You can actually do multiple things. It's more interesting and you'll still be progressing towards your goal, So we're just going to wait for her to finish up with this and for her XP to raise a little bit. And there she goes. She is now a nature fairy. And as you can see, her XP need is drained from that, and she's doing her little animation. And so, yeah, that's how you gain a power source. And there are multiple different things that you can do. You can draw from music, the sun, ice, the moon, all kinds of different elements, and be able to draw your magic from that and change what type of fairy or witch you are. And like I said, that'll change all kinds of different elements of your life and whatnot, and how you progress and different things that you can do. So actually what we're going to do, I'm going to show you kind of what that does and have her practice magic here, and you'll see what it looks like. So, oh, there she goes floating again. So you can see that her magic is green and naturey and stuff. And oh, you can actually see here the one of the little animations that happens. And every power source has a special sort of animation like that while they practice magic. So it makes it unique and special to their power source. So you can have a dozen different fairies with different power sources. And when they practice magic, they'll all be doing these different things. And it makes it much more interesting. So the last thing I want to go over here is, let's see, we'll go over to her inventory. Actually, first let's raise her XP real quick, and we'll look at the spells for a sec. So when you are a certain type of witch or fairy or witch or whatever, you can learn certain spells easier. So the Ivy Wrap spell here, that's unlocked at level 7. But because she's a nature fairy, you can see that she's able to learn it at level 4. So that's the sort of effect that the power source has. So she finds it a lot easier to learn the nature-based spells. And there's like music-based spells and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the last thing I think I wanted to cover. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and following along. And I hope it helped and gave you some good advice for how to navigate this mod. And thank you to everyone over on Tumblr who's followed along with me. And I hope to see you over there. My handle is sp-creates, or you can go over to my Patreon, patreon.com/spinningplumbobs, and I hope you'll follow along with me and future updates of this mod, because I do plan on having many future updates. There's so much I want to do with this mod, so I really hope you guys choose to follow along with me. So I don't know if I'll keep doing videos like this for future projects that I work on, but we'll just have to see. So thank you guys so much, and I look forward to hearing what you do with this and seeing how you choose to play with it. So take care. Bye-bye.